covered so much ground this week. Cory realized a childhood dream. We swam inside of a volcano, and spoiler alert, it was not hot. Cory went on a rescue mission, and Cor and Ellie built a rock man. So make sure you stick around, and at the end, we'll tell you what's coming up next week.
For me, most recently, the decision to break free happened in February of this year. I sent a resignation letter to the man that I had been working next to, helping him grow and evolve his company for a number of years. It had become a prison for me. And I realized that I was doing him a disservice by continuing to work in a place where I felt bars around me. And so I sent him that resignation letter, and it changed everything. And from that moment forward, I began looking at not what is going to bring me the most financial success, what's going to bring me the most admirable career position. I began looking at what is undeniably going to bring me the most joy in my life. And that is what I want to pursue, even if it means living in a van.
Especially if it means
living in a van. I've been looking at Crater Lake, pictures of it, since I was a kid. I really wanted to be a Boy Scout, so I joined the Cub Scouts when I was like 7 years old. I got a subscription to Boys Life magazine, and I would open it up and I'd see these Boy Scouts out in these incredible settings, having adventures, and of course my mind is just exploding, my imagination with all the things I'm gonna do as a Boy Scout. And this was one of those places. There was a picture that was taken that was in that magazine from right over there with Wizard Island in the foreground, and then this huge volcano that the crater had formed a lake behind it. And oh my gosh, I just thought it was the most amazing place, and I've wanted to come here my whole life. Now we're here, and I stood in the place where that Boys Life magazine picture was taken last night. And today we're exploring the whole park, so I'm like stoked. It is a magical day for me.
I just loved how blue the sky was.
The blue is unbelievable.
And that's what we're talking about with the lakes.
So, a little history. This lake was first discovered by some prospectors that heard there was a real rich gold mine up here in the mid-1800s, something like that. And they named it the Deep Blue Lake. And then they lost it again. Nobody knew where the lake was because it's kind of hidden up in these mountains, right? So then it was discovered again like 10 years later, and no affiliation with the first guys that discovered it. The second guys came to it, and they were, whoa, watch that, a little slippery there. They named it the Blue Lake. And
oh, so it got named the Blue Lake twice?
Yeah, it did. It's so blue that not only was it named that twice, it is the clearest, purest water of any lake in the United States. It has no streams feeding it. It's fed strictly by snowmelt and by rain. That's it.
And because of the nature of it being, the center of a volcano, there's only one trail that leads down, and I'm hiking it in my Tevas and sliding it. Oh! And sliding down it in my Tevas. It's the equivalent of climbing down 65 flights of stairs and then climbing back up. Giddy up.
Elizabeth, do you like this spot?
This is where I want my house.
I think
okay? I want my house, but I want it on the lake edge, shore.
That is no joke. Dear God.
Cold never bothered.
Cold never bothered me anywhere.
We are in a volcano.
Oh, it's time. I am refreshed. Now I'm gonna lay on a hot rock. Try and get feeling back. How you doing, baby?
Gucci.
Gucci? Those are some pretty flashy shorts you got. Where'd you get those?
I said this could only be made to be a more heavenly experience if all of a sudden shorts appeared, and there they were.
Oof. 'Cause I'm free ball.
This really bold decision to live so minimalistically is what has provided the opportunity for us to live so richly, as you said last night.
The less time I spend maintaining and fixing and replacing and, stuff, the more time and resources we have for this. I looked at Elizabeth last night as we crawled in bed and I said, man, we are so wealthy with the way we get to spend our days. I could not feel more blessed and rich.
And I'm so grateful for that, because when it comes time for budgeting, we definitely don't feel wealthy where most people count wealth. But so to hear him say that our lives are filled with so much wealth is really comforting for me.
We're stuck across the road right now. Tie rod came completely out of the sleeve. I got front wheels pointed in two different directions. Feeling a bit defeated. We are trying to replace the inner tie rod, outer tie rod. The ball joints are shot. They look like they've been in there since the early 90s, and 34 years later, steering's got a bunch of play in it, and we're just not sure how long they're gonna last. So we've been searching. We need this part. We need this part right here. Oh my God. What a day. When this van was built, it was like Frankenstein together. It's Chevy parts and Ford parts, and this was one of the loose joints that made us nervous. And now we just tried to do a U-turn on a mountain road. It popped off and my wheels went in two different directions. All right, so it's the morning after our steering linkage fiasco. We've tightened everything back down as tight as we can manage to get it. We're hoping it holds together because we've got Umpqua Hot Springs and then we've got Crater Lake National Park. We are out in the middle of nowhere before we get back to Grants Pass, Oregon, where we could actually get something done to fix the problem permanently.
I've always felt a sense of, no matter what I do, it's always going to work out and it's going to be great. And it's not that anything is ever going to be easy, because easy's not fun, but that anything that was difficult was going to forge me and transform me, and I was going to like me even more on the other side. And so just excited for all of the difficulties, knowing that eventually I saw all of them as provision.
We are in the pumice desert. I mean desert. The ground everywhere is covered with this. Did I just get this in your face?
Are my eyeballs.
And so is Ellie. 7,700 years ago, Crater Lake erupted. It wasn't called Crater Lake at that time. What was it? Mount something or other.
Matzama?
Mazama? It erupted, and when it did, it threw out so much ash that the entire state of Oregon could have been covered in 8 inches of ash if you put it everywhere. It threw out pumice stone all over this valley and buried it under 100 feet of that rock. So ladies, if you want great pedicures and want beautiful feet, this is a great place to come walk barefoot. And for everyone else, that is where we are, the pumice desert. You wanna build a rock, man?
Come on, let's go and play.
Want to build a rock, man?
Doesn't have to be a rock, man. This is a bad idea, bye.
Do you want to build a rock, man?
Come on, let's go and play.
We used to be best buddies, but now we're not. I wish you'd tell me why you've gone away.
It doesn't have to be a rock, man. Okay, bye.
It's a really interesting dynamic between you and I. For you, a human being is the most exciting, adventurous exploration you can undertake. You cannot wait to unwrap the little treasure chest of each person and find out what's inside them. You love that. For me, it's very much outward. I'm always pulled by this desire and this curiosity for discovery in the world around me.
Yeah.
So what's really cool is that you challenge me all the time to look inside myself and to look inside other people. I challenge you.
I would not be living out of a camper van if it were not for you.
I challenge you.
I would not be
right?
seeing the world the way that I'm seeing the world geographically.
I like to think that I pull you out and say, Elizabeth, now wait, look what's over that next ridge. Look what's around that next corner. Look at this.
Look
at
you
this.
in for sure.
So
Inward.
we are we're very much, yin and yang. Well, that was really sappy.
Yeah. You gonna kiss me now? We're working on kissing more.
We are. There's a north trailhead and a south trailhead. South trailhead, 0.3 miles from where you park to the springs themselves. North trailhead, 2.5, 3 miles. Well, I didn't know any better. So I parked at the north trailhead. But now it comes time to go back. I have been given a mission. Move speedily, faster than the group, retrieve the van, and meet them at the closer entrance. I think that means they're telling me I'm the strongest hiker. I don't want to say that to them, because it would sound all egotistical and everything, so it's between you and me. So, I take my mission seriously, and I'm moving quickly upon the path. Mother hen, this is Blazing Tiva's. Mission accomplished. I have reached the mothership. I was neither waylaid, MIA, POW'd, C3PO'd, R2D2'd, or WB-40'd. Your chariot is on the way. I will see you shortly. Roger, Dodger, over and out. Check it out. Oh, all new steering linkage. We're safe to drive. Woohoo!
So we are back in civilization to restock for an epic week of cave exploring and the redwoods, and Cory's pretty excited that he's not doing dishes tonight.
Somebody else is cooking.
And the shower drama.
I'm clean.
Yeah, shower drama.
Oh, look at this, right on time.
Perfect.
Here comes the food.
So be sure to subscribe and we'll see you next Sunday.
See you next time.
Thank you so much.